Here we go, Cicero. 54. Verum, but concedo tibi. But I concede to you, ut that, praeterias, you shall pass by ear these things, qua which, since you're silent, or when you're silent, there's the S meaning you, and well, it wouldn't have another S there meaning you. So, nulla esse concedus. So I concede you're passing by all these things, which, and since you're giving silence, you concede these things are nothing, nulla. Illud indeed, this thing indeed, voluissi, it's the past infinitive, he'd wanted to ex hatere, he'd wanted to disinherit this son. Curte, certainly, you, planum facere debes, you ought to make this plain or clear, that this accusation that he had wanted to disinherit the son. Quid ergo, what therefore, or what then, are you adferring, or referring, or bringing up? We have ablative. Quare, which matter, which putamus, what we think shall make us think that id factum, that this is indeed the fact or the truth. So he's asking for the evidence of this ex hatereing. Vire nihil potos dicere. You're able to say nothing in truth, vire. Finge, this is to a singular person, it's an imperative. Create, aliquid something, sultem, adverb at least. Commode, which is something that's convenient or believable. Ut ne, so that not that you shall seem, id facere, to do this, which you are doing apertly. Aperte means openly. Now I've still got a bit of a cough. So, it's nothing you're able to say. Create something at least so that it look like what you're seeming to doing is what you're doing openly. Misere fortunis, who is of the fortune or the fate, misery to this wretch, and talium dignitare, something worthwhile that you were illuderating or attacking or mocking of these men. These men would be the jury men, the vivorum of the jury or the judges. So we've got a bit of rhetorical stuff going on. He voluited, he wanted to disinherit the filium, the son. Quam ob causem, for what cause? What reason? Nescio, I don't know. And we have the nay here of a question. Ex heteravit, did he disinherit him? Non. No, he didn't. Quis prohibited it. Who prohibited him? Who stopped him? He was cogitating about it. He was thinking about it. And then again, so Cicero's asking the question and answering it. He was cogitating about it. He was thinking about it, cogitating it. To who, cui, did he dixit it? Who did he say this to? Nemini, to no one. Okay, so I'll make a daily dictionary word out of illudere, which we saw above here. And I'll put in the Latin synonym books by the Reverend Gosset, which we have some synonyms. Illudere, it's also spelled with the N, which we saw. To play upon, to laugh at, to make a game of, to mock. We have here used as insulted and pecunia illudere, to fool away one's money. I've got it in the all words listed up here as illudo, number 279. We have ludo, alludo, eludo, and illudo. We saw the synonym is also conludo. Mock, ridicule, fuel, dupe, abuse. So it can be abuse or attack. I've got it set up here in the top 2,000 words. Illudere, illudere, illusi, illusus. The full, dupe, mock, ridicule, speak mockingly of, use for sexual pleasure. Okay. So quid est other. What is this other? Judicio, this is dative or ablative, and legibus, the laws, and maestra mestate vestra, a beauty. So utor and abutor take the ablative. So what is this other than you're abusing the judicio, the court, and the laws, and your maestate, your dignities and honour, to this question, this line of questioning, and ad libidem, to this sort of, I just might want to say the lust towards this line of questioning. Nisi, except hoc modo, this is only to accuse and to obicere, to cast this sort of accusation. Quod planum facere, which not only to do plain, you are not able to do, singular possess there, but ne quidem, you're not even conercing, you're not even trying to do this. So this is going back to, he wanted to disinherit the son. Didn't think about it, didn't tell it to anyone. You're just abusing the court and the laws and the time, basically. Not only are you doing this as an accusation and to cast things against him, but there's no way to prove this was true or that he was trying. You are not even trying to do this. 55. Nemo nostrum est irusci. This is the vocative again. So there's not one of us, no one of us, quin, who not, sciat, he who does not know, tibi, to you, there an inimicus with sescus roscio, cum takes the ablative, nullus est. So there's not one of us who doesn't know. There's no hostilities or enmity for you with sescus roscios. Videt omnias, everyone sees, qua de causa, what is the reason, huic to him, demonstrative pronoun, venias inimicus, you come inimicus to him, you come as an enemy to him or hostile to him. So everyone's seeing this reason why he's coming here. Sciant, they know, pecunia huisci, they know it's his money which has adductum te, which has led you here, which is adductumed. Quid ergo est, what then is there, or what's going to happen now? Ita tamen, so nevertheless, or still yet, quaestus, which is a type of income, cupidum sat, so you're desirous of an income, this is what we're talking about, these pecunia, ita ut, these are correlatives, thus so that the existimation horum of these men of the jury, so next existimation, what do you call it in English? The in their judgment, and the remian legem and the remian law, putares, you ought to think, a portere, it ought to have some valere, some strength or prevailing. So basically what he said is, the money's led him here. What more is there to say? You want money, and you're desirous of this money, but you ought to think about the decision of these men and this law. This ought to have some prevailing. There's footnotes in the lobe. Cicero pretends to dismiss the subject. You wanted money, why say more? Then he pauses and corrects himself and reminds Eurycius, the jury and the law might have something to say. It's not known when this law was passed or by whom. Okay. Accusators multos esse in civitate utiles. So it's utile, it's useful that in the cite, in the city or the empire, you might even go to say, but in the city, there are many accusators. Many people make these accusations. So that, metu in fear or by fear, okay, we've got a passive. So that audacia, which is boldness, basically, is contained, continuator by fear. So it's useful to know that there are many accusers, but fear is checking a lot of this boldness there. They're trying to seize this guy's land, etc. Virum tamen, but nevertheless, hocida, but this is, here we have utile est again. It's useful, this is to know, so that not plainly or openly, we are being inludemored by the accusers. We're not being mocked with or played with. We saw inludere is the daily dictionary word. Here we have him in the first person plural. So there's many accusers. Their boldness is checked by fear. But it's also useful to know that they shouldn't openly be mocking or attacking us, these accusers. Innocence as quispiem. So this means anybody or somebody is innocent. Virum, but tamen. Getting lots of tamens today. But nevertheless, or yet, quam, although abes from culpa, he's away from blame or has no blame or is free from blame, tamen again, nevertheless, he is non-carried. He's not lacking, taking the ablative of suspicion. So someone's innocent, but although there's no blame, There's not lacking a suspicione. There's not lacking suspicion. Temetsi, although miseramus, even though this is a pitiable matter or this isn't a good thing, it's a miserum thing to happen to a person, Tama, nevertheless, or yet still ei to him, qui accused hunk, to him who accuses is hunk, this other guy. If you know your pronouns, that's the dative, this is accusative. So although it is a miserum thing, to him who was accused him, possim, I am able, aliquo modo ignoscere, I'm able to pardon him in some way. This might be dative here. So yeah, someone's accused him, but Cicero is, he might pardon him for this accusation. Cum annum, for when habeat aliquid, for when he has something, quod which, posset, he's able, dicere, to speak or bring a charge, criminose and suspicion, so he's incriminating him and suspicion, apertly, another adverb meaning openly, ludificare and columnare scans non vidator. So knowing this, he might not seem to be ludificare, which we saw was mocking us, and calumniare is like slandering. I think it was a daily dictionary word in the last month anyway. Okay, so ludificare is obviously related to in ludere and in luderamus, luderamur. And we'll scroll down to the end. Quare, in which matter, facilely, easily, patamor, we allow or endure, omnes, all these, quam plural mos accusators. So then we allow all these many accusers, quod, because the innocence, singular, if an innocent person, if accusated sit, this is subjunctive with the C, if he is accused, potest absolvi, he's able to be absolved of this charge, but the knock-ends, the harmful one, the guilty one, nisi accusated for it, unless he's accused, non potest condemnare, he's not able to be condemned. Utilius est autem, so however or moreover, comparative, it's more useful for an innocentem, the innocent to be absolved, quam than for causem, the case of a nocentem, the case of a guilty man to be not indicted, not to be brought to court, non-dicerated. And Cerberus cibaria, so cibaria is a food for the Ancerobuses, which are the geese. These are contracted, locantored, at public expense, publici, and the canes, the dogs, alunta, they're nourished in the capital, ut, so that they would signify, see if furs, thieves, venerant had come. If you know the story of how the geese saved Rome by all their squawking in the middle of the night. At furs, but thieves, non posset, they are not able to know them into noscere. Amongst these people, they can't distinguish between them. Nevertheless, they significant, they make their alarm. If there are qui, these people who knock to in the night, venerant, they come into the capital, and quia, because it is suspicious, it is suspiciosum, because this is a suspicious act to come venerant into the capital in the night, nevertheless they make their noise. Temerezzi, although bestia sunt, even though they are beasts, tamen, again, nevertheless, or still, in part, on their part, rather that they make this mistake, which is courtier, which is rather cautious. It's a comparative. Quod C. But if Luke A in the daylight, quoque also canes latran, if dogs are barking also when it's light, when Dios salutatum aliqui venerant, this is plural. So when some people are venerating, when some people come, they come for their supine here, they come to greet the gods or to pay homage to the gods. Opin, or as I suppose or think, eis to eos, these are the dogs, to these, there's cruras, which are their legs, maybe their forelegs, are safringo. Fringo means to break, so If the dogs are all barking during the day when people are coming to greet the gods, they're going to get their legs broken. Quod because they are acres. They're being fierce, etiam even tum then, where nulla sit suspicia, when there's nothing to be suspicious of. The end for today.